Hello and welcome. So, I'm gonna talk about my experience taking Royal Air Maroc from Istanbul all the way to Dakhla with a transit in Casablanca. It was a really terrible experience for me. I can swear that I never want to take this airline again. I took them before domestically many times, but never international. This is my first time taking them internationally, and it was just a pain in the ass. Um, so I had my flight at 6 p.m. on 18 July, and the flight was delayed until 10 p.m. On that day, my girlfriend was also going, so we were both going. She was going to her country, and I was going back to Morocco. And so after I knew that there was a delay, I was like, maybe it's just like a mistake or something. Maybe it's not true because they didn't announce it yet. They just sent email that it's gonna be at 10 p.m. So I was like, okay, if that's the case, maybe either they're gonna announce it or maybe it's just a mistake. They ended up showing it on the monitors, delay for like of 4 hours. Yeah, 4 hours. So so I just stayed. My girlfriend left her country, and I stayed there by myself until it was almost 10 p.m. Or like it was almost 10 p.m. I was already in the boarding gate. They said, "Oh, the flight is canceled." They sent me an email. The flight was canceled. So I was like, what's going on? And people there on the gates, they were also expecting, they weren't expecting this, and they were really fed up and everything. So everyone went to their desk in the airports, and they asked about it and complained about it and everything. And people said, and they said, there's a delay, and we're gonna give you a hotel, right? So they gave us hotel. I decided to not take the hotel. I decided to just stay in the airport because I was really I was kind of stressed that day and didn't want to deal with people. So I just decided to, go by myself, and just stay in the airport. So that was that was the thing until the next day. I slept. It was really cold. I slept, woke up around 6 a.m. I received an email from them. They said, "Oh, the flight was delayed again until 1, and from 1 p.m. They said, yeah, because they said it's the next day at 1 p.m. So now it was delayed from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. again. So I was really fed up, and but I'm not the kind of person who complains. So I was just there, waiting, and I had already sent my stuff, already did the check-in, and not sure if the stuff is gonna be sent to Dakhla, or am I gonna receive it around the same time or anything. I had no idea, so I was just there. So after that, my flight to Dakhla was at 10 p.m. the previous day, and since that happened from Istanbul to Casablanca, I just couldn't change it back. So, and they didn't even change it. I had to. A lot of stuff I'm gonna say later. Um, so we took the flight. I was patient 4 p.m. until 4 p.m. We took the flight. On the plane, they were about to take off, but they turned it off again. And we stayed an hour before taking off there, in the airports. And so we stayed like an hour there, and I kind of just touched the handle, like on the chair, and it fell off. So when it fell off, like when it fell off, The guy next to me, he was like laughing hysterically. He's like, "Oh, we're like going in the back of an old car." It was a terrible experience. Anyways, we got to Casablanca around I think it was 10. No, no, no. We got yeah, it was around 10. The flight to Dakhla goes at 10, so I couldn't make it. You know, the passport control, everything. I couldn't make it to Dakhla. So I decided to just like maybe stay the night there. No, but before that, I went to their desks. I told them to change my flight to 8 a.m. tomorrow, so I can make it at 8 a.m. at least, so I can get there. So I went to one of their offices, and the guy was there. He was like kind of telling me, "Oh, you should have went to that office. You shouldn't went to this office." Blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, but I asked everyone. They said they directed me here, and he was like, okay, and then he was looking and everything, and he said, oh, I changed your flight until for tomorrow, at like 8 a.m. I was like, okay. He didn't give me paper or anything, and stupid from me to not even ask about it. But anyways, he did that, and he took it. So he said he changed. So I was like, okay, I'll just go. And then he gave me hotel reservation, as like compensation. But when I checked in the hotel, they said, oh, the bus that takes you to the hotel is not free. You have to pay. It's not included in that. So, and then my flight was 8. It was already like 1 a.m. Sorry, the flight. It was already 1 a.m. there. And is it okay to have my little friend here? Okay, So my flight was 8 a.m. It was already like 1 a.m. and I had to be there at 5, So I did, and like I stayed, and then I did it. And in the morning I went to them again to ask about my luggage, and to ask about my luggage, yeah. And they said, oh, well, your luggage, some of them said the luggage is gonna go back to Dakhla, and I already asked in Istanbul, and they said, oh, this is gonna go to Dakhla already, like directly. And I was like, oh, okay, I mean, that's really good. But some of them said we don't know. Some of them said you have to take it from here and like do the check-in again, the process again. So I was like, damn, So they said, oh, and you have to register it again and everything. And when I want to check for my luggage, there was a woman there, and like I get it, because people were kind of pissed, and she was pissed too. But the way she treated me, the way she responded to me was kind of like rude, like it was kind of like raising her voice, and like I don't know how to describe it. I'm sorry, but it's just kind of, and it's okay for me. I understand her, but it's just not a good way to treat someone that because of you he was in the airport for like 2 days. So yeah. And in the morning, I want to, for my changed flight, and to ask about the tickets and everything. And the woman looked at me and she said, well, they didn't change it, so he lied to you. I was like, why would he lie to me? He was so nice, and he was telling me that he changed it and everything. So he didn't change anything. The flight wasn't changed. So I just, was like, fuck it, and I told her, well, can you change it? And she was like, she was really kind of like, she wasn't, she wasn't that good to deal with either, So after some time, she said, oh, I changed it and everything. And I already had put my stuff on her desk, like my card, my identity card and everything. And she said, oh, remove now, you remove your stuff from my desk, you know. So I'm like, okay, I did. I went, I did the check-in and everything, and I went straight to Dakhla. So that's the end of the trip. But it was really unpleasant experience. It was a terrible experience, and I will never, like, I would rather never take them again. Sometimes I'm forced because from Dakhla we either have them or Air Arabia, but I'll try to take Air Arabia because them is just, it was a terrible experience. I never recommend it to anyone. If you want to take this airplane, like if you want to take this airline, don't. If there's, even if they might be cheaper, for me they weren't even cheap. The Pegasus was cheaper than them, but I still took them. And you might ask me why, but I didn't think this experience would happen to me. But if you plan on taking them, don't. No, never. It's a really bad experience, and you can look it up if you want. You can, you know, it's just really bad. And they didn't even give us compensation. They barely said sorry about this. They didn't give us compensation or anything, and they only gave us like 3,000 points or something, miles. It's just I don't know, for making someone wait in the airport for a day. For me, in my case, it was 2 days, and I haven't seen my family and everything, and it's just a really bad experience. And I recommend you to not take this airline. So yeah, this is my experience, and thank you for listening.